Good evening, brothers and sisters.
各位兄姐，今晚安。
May God bless you for taking your time in this cold weather to come to church to participate in this service.
愿神祝福各位，在今晚就是有点冷且下雨的夜晚，大家还是愿意拨出时间来参与今晚的聚会。
This is not something easy, and as a preacher in the past said, this is actually doing holy work.
对这样的状况，还是来参加弟兄姐妹，不是一件容易的事。那就像传道说的，这也是参与一项圣工。
Because you see, if you come to a chapel, there is only a few people there.
因为当我们来到了会堂，即使这会堂里只有少数几个人。
And what happens if there is a true seeker?
如果今天是有慕道者来呢
？The outsider will normally think, hey, maybe there's no God here.
对于外面的人可能会觉得说，这教会并没有神的存在。
Yeah, this is just a thinking, and normal people will think it this way.
这个想法是存在于一般人是会这么想的。
And the probably will start, doubting, whatever you say.
然后他们也许开始对你讲的任何话产生一些质疑。
But if they see there is a lot of believers in this chapel here.
但是如果当他们看到这个会堂里是聚满了人
，they probably will forget about whatever you say on the stage.
他们可能会忘记主讲者在台上究竟分享了些什么。
They must be God in this chapel.
因为他们看到这么多人，可能就会觉得这一定是有神才会如此。
And this is just a thinking only.
但这是我个人的一些想法。
When I talk about this is actually one of these I think evangelical service. Evangelical service 布道会。
我想说。
Yeah. Evangelical service.
我想说的是，也许这是布道会。
Yeah, in one of the evangelical service.
在某一场的灵恩布道会中。
And there's a field class 直笛班。
有一个直笛班。
And the minute they went on the stage.
当他们上台的时候。
There were about 40 to 50 people.
在参加的人大概有40到50个。
Because normally you only see 20 to 30 at most.
因为通常只会出现20到30位参加者。
And because of the space.
但是因为这样的场地。
You would think that there are already a lot of people out there.
对外面来说，这样已经是很多人了。
You see, when there is 40 to 50 people standing down there.
但是如果下面是坐着40到50位的参与者。
No, if there are 40 to 50 people standing on the stage, playing the flute, praising the Lord.
不好意思，如果当你是来看的，然后看到台上有40到50位人在台上赞美神。
Sometimes you just moved by those people on there.
有的时候，也许我们光是看到这样的阵容，就会觉得很感动。
I was joking, to the leaders of that flute class.
我对那个直笛班的领导者开了一个玩笑。
Actually, sorry. I told her that I didn't really understand what you guys are playing.
我跟他说很抱歉，虽然我不是很了解你们究竟在吹些什么东西。
But my mind was so moved.
但是我的心却备受感动。
By seeing so many people, how you manage to call, so many brothers and sisters, together and practice so hard and playing for the audience.
我非常佩服你怎么可以集合这么大的阵容在台上，就为了要赞美神。
But thank God, this is all God's move. How God moved them, and they feel so touched, so they go to do all this job.
但感谢神，他们会聚集这样赞美神的原因，就是因为神感动了他们的心。
And on that day, one deacon is actually sitting beside me.
在那天直笛班献诗的时候，有一位执事刚好坐在我旁边。
And he tapped on my shoulder.
他拍了拍我的肩膀。
He said, "Aaron."
他说：“傅杰。
Where does these people coming from?
这些弟兄姐妹到底从哪里冒出来的？”
Were they hired?
你说他们是被聘请的吗？
I said, no. They actually, it's for, their hard work.
并不是，他们其实是。
They find these people through a lot of hard work.
他们是透过很多的沟通跟协调，他来找到这些人。
Because even this deacon, he felt so surprised. How can they come up with so many people?
因为连这位执事都非常惊讶，说到底直笛班为什么可以有这么多的人在一起赞美神
？So I think is God moved them.
所以我想这就是神感动了他们做这样的圣工。
And I believe there is a kind of attitude in the leader's heart.
我也相信这样的感动及心意会存在一个领导者的心中。
The leader and the team member they want to do something for God.
当团员以及领导者他们想为神去做某些事的时候
，and you will see it happen.
奇迹就会发生。
Yeah, and tonight my topic will be like a praise song toward the goal.
那今晚我想与各位兄姐分享的主题是向着标杆直跑。
I think this is a topic easy to say, but it is very hard to do.
我想这个主题是这是很好被拿来说的一个主题，但是内容却很难与各位分享。
Yeah, it is easy for you to concentrate on something you like to do for 3 minutes.
也许对我们来说很容易，我们对一件事有3分钟的热度。
Or maybe 3 days.
或者是保持3天的热度。
Or even a week.
或者是保持1个礼拜的热度去进行。
But in the process.
但是在这样的过程当中。
When times gets longer,
当时间越拉越长
start feeling boring.
我们可能会慢慢觉得无聊
Or encounter, maybe difficulties.
或者是在这过程中遇到了一些阻碍
Then you must start changing or thinking or doubting.
那我们可能就会有一些心意上的改变，甚至有一些怀疑或抱成质疑
Are we going to continue?
我们要继续做这样的事吗
Yeah, what I'm doing now.
对我现在碰到的状况，这样我还值得继续走下去吗
Yeah, this is a big question for every one of us.
这样的状况我们也许都会遇到
So we can see that to be consistent over a long period of time is not easy.
所以对我们来说，持之以恒的去做某一件事情，并且去完成它，不是一件容易的事。
In the Bible study, we often discuss a lot about things in the Bible.
在圣经中，我们常常会读到某些教导。
And one of the Bible study occasion, I actually shared on, most of the politicians.
在其中一个团契的时候，我曾经与各位兄姐分享到说，关于政治人物的事。
Yeah, they before they got elected.
在他们还没被选上之前。
Yeah, they were full of zeal.
他们浑身充满着斗志。
Yeah, they want to do this for people and do that for people.
他们想要为人民付出各样的努力及服务。
And they start drawing, a very big pictures. How are they going to do it?
然后他们会做各样的海报，说会有哪些政见被提出来。
But after they got elected,
但是当他们选上之后，
things might start changing.
事情就也许会慢慢开始改变。
Because there are going to be a lot of temptations coming along.
因为会有各样的引诱在他们的从政之路上出现。
Money.
譬如说金钱。
Fame.
名誉。
Power.
他们的权利。
When these things start coming along.
当这样的事情慢慢在他们从政之路上出来的时候
Can they really resist those temptations?
他们是真的可以阻挡这些引诱吗
Because maybe once they got elected, they need to think about the next election.
因为当他们选上之后，他们必须要想说，我如何要连任。
Yeah, so there's a lot of factors, whether to put themselves first or to put people first.
所以他们内心会有一些挣扎，说到底是要把自己放第一呢，还是把人民的利益放第一
And normally we can tell a lot of them, the top-ranking ones, they put their self-interest first.
那通常显而易见的是，通常从政之路还蛮好的，还蛮优秀的那些政治家，他们都会把自己的利益放为第一优先。
And that's why you see a lot of leaders that actually, fail, at the end of the day.
这就是为什么现今我们会看到很多政客最后会没落或失败的原因。
And why is this happen?
那为什么这样的状况会发生呢
I think they forgot, the initial thinking, the very first thoughts why they want to take the job.
我想他们可能后来会想说，为什么他们当初为什么要选择这份职业
They forgot about the purpose.
他们也许忘了他们当初为什么要选择这份职位的动机。
And they lost the zeal.
他们也遗失了他们当初的热忱。
And the zeal is actually very important.
那热忱在我们做事上面其实是很重要的一个元素。
For Christians, it's the same.
对于基督徒来说更是如此。
Without zeal, without excitement, life is like dead water.
如果没有了热心，那我们的生命就像一潭死水。
Yeah, so they forgot about the purpose, they forgot about the zeal, and they forgot about the people.
所以这些政客他忘记了他们当初的热忱，他们忘记他们当初选择的动机，他们也忘了他们其实是来服务人民。
And these are the reasons 89 like them could not really continue on their purpose and continue to serve the people, to put the people first. And all these reasons, caused them not able to continue to serve the people, to put the people first.
因为以上种种的原因，会让他们慢慢一步一步的远离他们当初为什么要从政的之路。
And in the Bible, we have a very good example is Solomon.
那在圣经当中，所罗门其实提供了一个很好的故事。
We talk a lot about Solomon.
我们有讲过很多关于所罗门王的事情。
After God to another prophet help him to secure the kingdom.
当先知拿单帮助他巩固了王位之后。
I think deep inside Solomon's heart, he was so happy.
在所罗门心中是一件很好、很令人开心的事情。
He must be so appreciated.
他一定是充满感激的。
His kingdom was secure.
他的王位是很巩固的。
And he probably, he wanted to do something for God.
他甚至因着感谢的心，他想要为神做点事情。
So he started out with a very good heart and good ambitions in his heart.
所以一开始他对神有很好的做各种很好事的野心。
Yes. Let's turn to 1 Kings chapter 3.
我们一起翻到列王纪上第3章。
1 Kings chapter 3.
列王纪上第3章。
1 Kings chapter 3.
列王纪上第3章。
Verse 5.
第5节。
And Gideon the Lord appeared to Solomon during the night in a dream, and God said, Ask whatever you want me to give you.
在畸变夜间梦中，耶和华向所罗门显现，对他说：“你愿我赐你什么，你可以求。”
Solomon answered, You have shown great kindness to your servant my father David, because he was faithful to you and righteous and upright in heart. You have continued his great kindness to him and have given him a son to sit on this throne this very day.
所罗门说：“你仆人我父亲大卫用诚实、公义、正直的先行在你面前，你就向他大施恩典，又为他存留大恩，赐他一个儿子坐在他的位上，正如今日一样。”
Verse 7. Now, O Lord my God, you have made your servant king in place of my father David, but I am only a little child, and do not know how to carry out my duties.
耶和华我的神啊，如今你使仆人接续我父亲大卫做王，但我是幼童，不知道应当怎样出入。
8. Your servant is here among the people you have chosen, a great people too numerous to count or number.
仆人住在你所拣选的民中，这民多得不可胜数。
9. So give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people, and to distinguish between right and wrong.
所以求你赐我智慧，可以判断你的民，能辨别是非，不然谁能判断这众多的民呢？
For who is able to govern these great people of yours?
不然谁能判断这众多的民呢？
Obviously, God is pleased with Solomon.
很明显的，从这里可以看到，这样的所罗门这样的处是蒙主喜悦的。
God is pleased with Solomon.
所罗门是蒙神喜悦的。
And that's why God asked what Solomon want.
这就是为什么神会问所罗门说你想要求什么。
And we can see that Solomon, he had a very good intention at the beginning.
我们可以从这边看出，所罗门一开始是抱持着一个很良善的心。
Yeah, he wanted to serve God's people.
因为他想要服侍神的子民。
And he is also very humble.
那他同时也非常的谦和。
Because he thought that who is he? He's only a child. How can he govern God's people?
因为他认为说他自己究竟是谁呢？他只不过是幼童，他要怎么带领神的百姓？
And he asking God to give him wisdom.
这就是为什么他求耶和华赐给他智慧。
To be able to rule God's people.
这样他就能够治理神的百姓。
Yes, and we know that Israel people is a people very difficult.
我们都知道神的百姓是比较叛逆的。
So indeed, he really need God's wisdom to govern his people.
所以当然了，他需要从神来的智慧来治理这些百姓。
And his answer and what he asked was actually please God.
那他所求所想的其实是蒙神喜悦的。
God obviously was very happy for his answer.
神对于他的回答是感到非常也非常感动的。
Yes, because he didn't ask for more money or more power or more fame.
因为所罗门并没有求更多的权势或是更多的财富。
Yes, because if we know that there's a cartoon about these golden how do you call it, lamb,
一个卡通。
Yeah, it's a giant. It's a giant.
有一个卡通里面有个巨人。
Yes, I think it's in this teapot, right?
然后他这个巨人，他是在
teapot.
他是在茶壶里。
And he doing something on the teapot. There's a giant coming out.
如果你对这个茶壶或者神灯做某些事，就会有东西从里面冒出来。
And normally people asking different kinds of things, right?
通常要是人真的碰到这样的状况，也许会要求各式各样的事情。
Yeah, but some ask for his own self-interest.
他不先将自己的利益摆在第一要位。
And so we can see that later on, God really blessed Solomon.
之后我们可以看见神真的是祝福所罗门。
Not only gave him wisdom.
他不只给他的智慧。
God gave him rich.
还加倍给他财富。
And honor.
还有尊荣。
And there is no one, before the history or after the history is better than him.
之后在之前或之后再也没有王像他一样如此有尊荣。
Almost no one can compare with him.
几乎天下普天万王都没有人可以与他比拟。
And unfortunately,
很不幸的是
he did not make his success, lasting.
他所继承的一切并没有持续保持到最后。
He did not, get across that God is store for him at the end of the day.
最后他的王位甚至被别人取走了。
Yeah. What happened to him later on?
之后所罗门究竟是发生什么事了？
We know that he married a lot of women.
我们知道他娶了各国的女子。
The kind of women is about thousands.
至少1000位女子。
And these a lot of them are actually outsider.
那很多其实都是异族的女孩。
This is actually violating God's law.
那娶这么多异族的女孩，其实是有违反神的规范。
And he not only married this woman, he even built the altar for this woman to worship their God.
他不止与这些多国女孩结亲，他甚至还拜他们的神。
Yeah, and these made God so angry.
这些都惹怒神了。
And God decided to take apart his kingdom.
所以神就打算将他的王国分裂。
Most of his kingdom later on went to his subordinate.
然后大部分的国土最后都给他的下属。
Yeah, and this was actually a tragedy.
这其实是整场是个悲剧。
Yeah, you see, he started so well.
因为他一开始是如此的好。
So blessed.
他是如此的被蒙福的。
And he could actually, live a very good life if he listened to God.
照理说，他一生都可以如此的尊贵尊荣，直到他死的那一天。
But he chose not to stay close to God.
但是他却选择远离神。
He chose to break the laws.
他选择他干犯了神的律法。
He chose not to get away from the temptations.
他与恶亲近。
And little by little,
那渐渐的
bit by bit.
一点一点的
He was away from God, and to the extent that he really broke the laws of God.
他一步一步的远离神，在这样的试探中，他最终打破了神的律法。
I think he's already got to the point where he could not return anymore.
我想他应该已经干犯到一个神没有办法让他回头的境界。
He himself could not return as well.
连他自己都没有办法让自己归回。
Yeah, so this is the failures of Solomon.
所以这就是所罗门王的失败。
And you can say that he is a king.
你可以说他的确是个国王。
I think it's the same for us as a Christian.
我想对我们基督徒而言也是如此。
King has temptations.
国王会有各式各样的引诱。
How about us?
那对我们而言呢
I think that we are like tempted every day as well.
我想我们每一天其实都会受到各样的试炼引诱。
From every day, from different directions.
从各式各样的场合都会存在。
We are making decisions.
我们在做决定的时候
We are making decisions whether we are going to tempt it or not.
我们必须去抉择，我们到底是不是要掉入这个引诱里
Are we going to stay righteous and upright?
或者是我们要保持一颗正直的心。
So we are tempted as well.
所以我们还是会受到各样的试探。
Just like we are talking about can we concentrate on 3 minutes or 3 days?
就像我一开始所说的，我们究竟是可以支撑多久
？3 minutes, 3 days, 1 week, maybe is possible.
对，持之以恒3分钟3天也许是很简单的事。
Lifetime can be very difficult.
但是要持之一生却很困难。
How are you going to make sure you can be a good man throughout the entire of your life and not commit sin against God?
你们要如何保证说，在我们的一生都可以存有正直的心，并完全不惹动神的怒气
？Not committing big mistake.
我指的是那种很严重的致死的罪。
I think on this path.
我想在这信仰之路上
we need to stay close to God.
我们必须要时常与神亲近。
Solomon's problem is that he stayed with women.
所罗门的问题是他与女人太过靠近。
And that's what happened.
这就是为什么他会失败的原因。
So we need to stay close to God.
所以我们要与神保持一定亲密的距离。
I think let's turn to John 15.
我们一起翻到约翰福音第15章。
John 15.
约翰福音第15章。
John 15.
约翰福音第15章。
Verse 5.
第5节。
I am the vine, you are the branches. If a man remains in me, I in him, he will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing.
我是葡萄树，你们是枝子，常在我里面的，我也常在他里面，这人就多结果子，因为离了我，你们就不能做什么。
Verse 6. If anyone does not remain in me, he is like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire and burned.
人若不常在我里面，就像枝子丢在外面枯干，人拾起来扔在火里烧了。
7. If you remain in me, and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be given you.
你们若常在我里面，我的话也常在里面，凡你们所愿意的祈求，就给你们成就。
This is exactly what happened to Solomon when he was with God.
这段经节是当所罗门还与神保持亲密距离的时候会发生的事情。
Ask whatever you wish.
凡你们所愿意的就祈求。
It will be given you.
神就会给我们成
And if you
就。
stay with me, I will be with you.
若你们常在我里面，那我也会与你们同在。
But if you are not with me,
但如果你不再与我同在，
you will probably be thrown away and withers.
那你们就很容易枯干，然后被我扔在火里烧。
Look at Solomon's city and his people.
看看所罗门及他的王国就知道了。
Exactly like what God had warned him.
就完全是与神跟他说的一模一样。
If you disobey me,
如果你不遵行我的，
your people and your city will be left by other people.
那我就会让你的那我就会让你的国人受万民的嘲笑。
Yes, this is exactly what happened to him.
这是发生在所罗门王他身上的事情。
So, we need to stay close to God.
所以我们必须要与神保持相当亲近的距离。
From repeating Solomon's mistake, from not repeating Solomon's mistake.
避免重蹈覆辙所罗门王所犯的过错。
Because just like Solomon, we are human beings too.
因为就像所罗门王，我们也只不过是人。
So how are we going to make sure we can stay close to God?
那我们要如何确信说我们是时常与神保持相当亲近的距离？
I think attending service is very important.
我想参与聚会是其中一项要点。
Because as a human being, we are very forgetful.
因为身为一个人，其实我们是很健忘。
It's like I'm often telling the people working with me, hey, you need to do this and you need to do that. Because I'm afraid that after he turned away from me, he will forget.
就像我跟我合作的同事都说，你记得要做这件事或做那件事，因为我很怕，等到我一转身，他就完全忘记了。
I always keep doing the reminding work.
那我常常在提醒同事如此。
And this is very important.
这是非常重要的。
And it is the same for us.
对我们而言也是相当如此。
We are especially reminding you ourselves to do the good things, to do the positive work.
甚至是提醒我们要做一些正面的事情的时候。
Yes, human being is very strange.
然后人类的心思是很奇妙的。
For the positive work, for the good work, we need to keep on reminding ourselves.
对于正面的事，我们要时常提醒自己。
But for the entertainment,
但是对于我们娱乐的事，
we don't need anybody to remind us.
我们不需要任何人给我们提醒。
It's on automatic mode.
我们就会有自动想要去做的动力。
No one needs to teach you.
没有任何人需要教你。
So we need to come to the service to continue to have this word from God to come into our heart.
所以说，为什么参与聚会能够吸收神给我们的话，能够让我们更有动力往前？
So attending services is very important to receive God's word.
所以参与聚会是一个聆听神及吸收神话的最好机会。
To know what is God's command for us.
能够知道神对我们的吩咐是什么。
So that we know that we are Christians.
这样我们就能理解到我们是身为基督徒的。
Yes, when you want to do some, you have a desire to do some bad things or making some bad decisions, you are reminded that you are a Christian.
因为当我们被试探引诱，然后我们想去做一些比较负面或是违背神话的时候，我们就要忽然想到我们的身份是基督徒。
And when you come to the church, you will do some prayer.
而当我们来到会堂的时候，我们会祷告。
And it actually gives you some strength.
那其实透过祷告可以让我们重新得力量。
It's a kind of a miracle and a kind of a strength that God gives us through prayer.
这其实也是神给我们的一个神迹，透过祷告，我们便能从他这边得着力量。
Because after prayer, your mind seems, you'll clean again.
因为很神奇的，每当透过祷告之后，总会觉得我们的心灵似乎又干净了。
And you'll be feeling happy.
那我们又会重新得着喜乐。
And you will have the strength to do the right things.
那我们好像又重得力量，可以做正确的事情。
To see that boring things, but the right things seems to be interesting again.
对于那些看起来似乎无聊却是正当的事情，也许我们又会再对它们燃起了兴趣。
Yes, and this needs to be done with prayer.
那这样的转变是必须经过祷告的。
So to stay close to God, we need to come to the service.
所以要与神保持距离，其中一个我们必须时常参与教会的聚会，
And pray to God.
并且与神祷告。
And the next thing is we need to participate in church work.
那另外一件事，我们必须多做圣工。
Yes, participating in church work is very important.
参与教会的圣工是一件很重要的事。
Because normally when you come to the church after the service, you go home.
因为通常我们来聚会之后，我们都会直接离开了。
And no one will know that what happened to you outside.
因为没有任何一个人会知道你在外面是做了什么事或发生什么事。
Even if you disappear maybe for a month, people will thought that you are still alive.
即使你在教会消失了1个月，对在教会人来说，你也许还是活着。
But if you are actively participating in church work,
但是如果我们持续积极的参与教会的圣工，
brothers and sisters they are seeing you regularly.
那教会兄姐就会时常看到你出现在教会里。
So if you disappear for one day,
所以如果你消失一天，你不来一天，
people will start hunting you.
那人就不会一直去寻找你。
People will start, brothers and sisters, they will start looking for you.
如果你消失一天，那
people will start looking for you.
人就会开始教会的弟兄姐妹就会想要开始找你。
We have one sister.
我们有一位姐妹。
She just passed away recently.
她最近才过世。
She didn't turn up for one Sabbath service. She didn't turn up for one Sabbath service.
她没有
She didn't turn up. Come to the Sabbath day.
因为那一天她并没有来参与安息日的聚会。
Because she's so heavily involved in the cooking.
因为她是教会准备爱餐的人。
So a lot of people know about her.
所以很多人都会知道她。
And they know that she will definitely turn up.
所以在一般兄姐想说一定都会看到她的出现的。
But that day she didn't turn up.
但是那一天这位姐妹并没有出现在教会里。
So one of our brother, he's actually checking with me, like she didn't turn up. Maybe we're gonna see her.
所以其中一个弟兄就来问我说：“今天没看到她，我们是不是要去过去访问她？”
And when we visit her,
所以当我们去访问这位姐妹的时候，
we were surprised. She was on the bed.
我们还蛮惊讶的发现这位姐妹她是躺在床上的。
And she lost the ability of bringing herself up from the bed.
因为她已经没有能力支撑她从床上起来的力量。
Or taking telephone.
甚至是打电话接电话。
Or drinking water.
或者是喝水。
We would be feeling so surprised that she's not a type of. She's actually quite active person.
我们看到这样的情况都感到很惊讶，因为她是一个还蛮活跃的。
Yes, because she is so involved with the church.
因为这个姐妹她是参与教会很多圣工。
So after the brothers went to see her in the afternoon. In the evening, they are 7 to 8 brothers and sisters went to see her again.
所以在晚上在聚会结束之后，有几位兄姐就相约一起去她家拜访她。
Yes, and the following days they are brothers and sisters, continue to go to her house to see her.
那接下来的几天，我们都有安排教会弟兄姐妹去探望她。
Yes, because there are so many people know about her.
因为有很多人都知道这位姐妹。
Yes, see, if you connected to the church, if your faith is not good, people will come and look for you.
所以，如果我们时常与教会亲近，而当我们信心软弱的时候，其实教会弟兄姐妹是会发现的。
And when you are alone,
那如果我们是一个人的时候
something happened to you.
那如果有事情你有发生事情
There will be a group of people looking after you and want to help you.
那教会就会有弟兄姐妹想要去探望你，帮助你，照顾你。
And if you are this sister,
那就是就像这位姐妹
you will be so touched.
如果我们就像这位姐妹，那我们一定会感到非常的窝心。
When I'm no longer to be able to move anymore, God has sent angels to me.
因为当我已经在床上无法动弹的时候，神却派了天使来见我。
And taking care of me, from the point of I was on the bed to she finished, her entire life.
照顾这位姐妹，直到她蒙主恩召的那一天。
Yes, a lot of people continually seeing her.
因为我非常弟兄姐妹不断持续的关怀她。
This is the good benefits of staying close to God.
这是与教会保持一个近距离的好处。
That's why He says if you stay with me, I will be reminding you.
这就是为什么圣经会说，你若常在我里面，我也会常在你里面。
Yeah, in Proverbs 4, it says we need to guard our heart.
在箴言有说到，我们必须谨守自己的心。
But beyond guarding, before guarding our heart, God says we need to listen to His command.
但是在谨守我们的心之前，我们记住神有跟我们说，我们必须先听从他的一切吩咐。
We know that what are the rules of God?
我们 们知道神的一切律例典章，
and we need to, guard our hearts.
而我们就要听从这样的话，谨守遵行。
So we need to stay close to God.
就是为什么我们要与神保持一个亲近的距离，
And to press on toward the goal,
向着标杆直跑这件事，
apart from stay close to God, we need to concentrate on running toward the goal. This runner in the world is from a Jamaican sprinter.
在这个世界上最快的百米选手是一个牙买加的男子，
And his name is Usain Bolt.
他的名字是尤尔特。
Yes, he's ranking number 1, holding a world record.
他在男子百米赛跑中是世界上的第1名。
For 100 meters, he was at 9.58 seconds.
在百米赛跑中，他可以他用9.58秒完成了百米赛跑。
And the position number 10, the one ranked number 10 is 9.84.
但是世界男子百米赛跑的第10名却是9.84秒。
There is only 0.3 seconds.
其实也只有差不多0.3秒的差距。
In Usain Bolt, he did not concentrate.
如果这个牙买加的男子尤塞尔博尔特他没有持续的努力，
And he did not do his best.
然后他也没有尽他的全力，
A lot of things could happen in that 0.3 seconds.
那这在0.3的差距中就会有很微妙的变化。
Yeah, I believe that he had done his best.
我相信这第1名的博尔特他做了他的最好。
Yes, and he must put in his full concentration.
他一定是投入了他所有每一分力量去做这件事。
And that's why he won again.
这就是为什么最后他能够得冠军。
Concentration is something very important.
专心度在追求目标这件事上是很重要的。
Especially in our faith.
特别是在我们信仰之路上。
Remember, when is the last time we fell?
我们记得我们上一次失败阵脚的时候是什么时候吗？
Yeah, I think it is the time when we lose concentration.
我想就是当我们不专心的时候。
Every time when we got relaxed, when we got time to take a break.
当我们有时候会想要稍作休息。
That is the time, we must start losing concentration.
而我们想要开始休息的这个心，也许就是我们开始迷失方向的时候。
We might get tempted.
因为我们也许在休息当中会受到引诱。
Yes, and when we get tempted, we will see maybe start from a small hole.
所以一开始的引诱也许只是一个小小一个点。
And so if you don't stop yourself, the hole might getting bigger.
但如果我们继续的放松，那样的黑洞也就会越来越大。
And this is exactly what happened to David.
这就是发生在大卫王身上的事。
When he was so relaxed, when he was seeing a woman taking a shower.
当他非常的放松，当他在台上看到有人在洗澡的时候。
And later on, leading to a series of killings and horrible things in his family.
那最后就犯下了谋杀案，还有给他的后代子孙带来极大的影响。
You see, so concentration, not to get yourself too relaxed, is very important.
所以专心一致，不被任何事物左右影响，是很重要的一件事。
Recently, I saw a story from the internet. This is a very familiar story.
最近我在网络上看到了一篇故事，也许各位对这个故事都很熟悉。
It's about a raven and a turtle.
这是关于兔子跟乌龟故事。
You see, Raven always thought that he was running very fast. He boasted about he could run very fast.
我们都知道兔子都跑得很快，那这只兔子也吹嘘说自己也是很能跑。
And we know that the turtle is very slow.
那我们都知道乌龟本来爬行就很慢。
But much to Raven's surprise.
但是这兔子却非常意外的发现。
The turtles actually challenged the rabbit for a race.
这只乌龟竟然向 兔子下了战书，说要来比赛跑。
The rabbit thought this must be a joke.
那对兔子来说，他说这可当然是个玩笑吧。
How can you race with me?
你怎么可能够和比我跟我比赛跑？
So rabbit quickly answered him, yes, let's do it.
所以兔子就说，当然好，我们来比。
And to everyone's expected, once the race started,
就像我们所想的，当比赛一开始的时候
the rabbit was already halfway, to the finish line.
这个兔子早就跑过了中间线的一半。
But of course, he was running too fast. He thought that the weather was hot. Let's take a break.
因为他一开始跑得太快，也很努力，然后就想说，也许可以停下来一下。
Take a nap.
休息一下好了。
But he slept longer than what he thought.
但是他却休息的比他想的时间还要久。
Yeah. And at this time, the turtle was still, step by step, moving forward.
但是当兔子在休息的时候，这只乌龟却一步一步慢慢的往前爬。
It doesn't matter what the weather was, very hot, or how tired he was just moving forward.
乌龟并不在乎天气如何，或是自己爬得多累，它就是一直往前疾行。
Yeah, and by the time when the rabbit woke up,
那等到兔子醒来的时候，
he couldn't see the turtle anywhere.
他不管往哪里望，他都看不到乌龟的影子。
So he quickly ran to the finish line.
所以他就全力冲刺往终点线迈进。
And by the time when he reached the finish line,
那等到他到终点线的时候，
yeah, the turtle was there waiting for him.
他发现乌龟早在那边等他了。
So what is this lesson for us?
所以这个故事告诉我们什么？
As a Christian,
对于一个基督徒来说，
do not satisfy how good faith you have now.
我们千万不要自满说现在的信心到底有多好。
Yeah, just like Paul, he does not satisfy on where he was now.
就像保罗，他从来没有认为说自己的信心现在是最好的时候，
He was continuing pressing forward.
因为他持续不断的努力追求。
Yeah, and the turtle is the same.
那这只乌龟也是一样，
He doesn't care about how disadvantaged he was.
他并不在乎自己是处于在多么劣势的状况之下，
He just moved forward.
他只不断往前爬行。
And I think the spirit is a good spirit for us as Christians, for us to learn.
那我想这乌龟的精神对我们基督徒而言是一个很好的学习榜样。
Yeah, running toward the goal that God has set for us in Jesus Christ.
往标杆执行，这标杆就是神在基督里为我们设立的，
And concentrate.
并且我们要专心一致的往前行。
So my conclusion I'm making now is let's do not satisfy how good faith we have today.
所以我的结论是，无论我们今天的信仰如何，我们绝对不可过度自满。
Yes, like Paul said, we need to forget what is behind.
就像保罗说的，我们必须忘记背后，
Straining toward the goal.
我们必须努力向前，
Stay close to God
与神亲近，
and concentrate on our path.
并且在我们信仰之路上专心往前。
And we will be able to win the prize
那最后我们就能得到天上的奖赏。
which God had called us heavenward in Jesus Christ.
这是神说在耶稣基督里要给我们的。
Let's see Him